don't be getting used to these daily uploads. It's just for usually top 6 and for this specific video. How's it going, guys? MG Games here, back with another prediction video, and this time it's near as controversial as clubs. It is icons, FIFA 19 icons, and the thing is, I bet a lot of you will be expecting brand new icons you know, haven't got things yet. A lot of these guys were taken out of FIFA and they were put back. I think there's only one guy who wasn't a FIFA, and I couldn't actually get a picture of him, so I had to put a picture of someone else who plays in that position from that country. So sorry for the right back position. A bit of in-depth information there. But before we go further into this review, guys, prediction. If you do like the videos, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment below, share, friends, all that good stuff. But now, let's get this. First off, we have Jens Lehmann, the former Arsenal invincible. By the way, guys, this took forever. I had to make 3 of every single player. I had to look up statistics of their careers to try and make sure I get this well. Now, a lot of these guys I know a bit about, some of them I know a lot about, and then others I barely know anything. So, if I did make a mistake with, oh, this guy should have more pace, this guy should have better defending, this guy is this and that, please leave in the comments below. I'm not very well prepared. I had to do it on the spot last night. I had to look up on Wikipedia their some of their stats and all that. I even have them up with me as well. So we'll start off with Jens Lehmann, who has 3 icon cards. His youth card, which I made, I believe, his youth card's in 88, his old card's in 85, and then I usually put the prime card in the middle. And sometimes, guys, some players hit their prime when they're older, like for example Buffon. Like, I think Buffon started showing he's at his best not at his, like, not when he was like 20 to 22 or 23, not when he was like 25 to 29, from like 30 to 38 where we kind of seen this best of Buffon. Anyway, Jens Lehmann, he played for Schalke, Milan, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal, obviously, and Stuttgart, and he did make a one game return at Arsenal. I don't know why. His youth card's mostly based on his Schalke and Milan days. He spent 10 years at Schalke, and he also spent a year at Milan. He made overall 279 appearances, and it says here that he had a very rocky start to his Schalke career, but then became one of the best goalkeepers at the time for his age, which is why I have him in 88. At Stuttgart, then, he made 65 appearances from 2008 to 2010. Saw enough goalkeeper, as you know, as goalkeepers get older, they kind of lose their quick reflexes and all that. But I did boost his positioning, because with age comes experience, which why you'd be better known, since you can't really rely on your diving and reflexes more. You'd be more on where to place yourself. So that's why he's like that. Then obviously his 90 red card is for his time at Arsenal from 2003 to 2008. 5 years he was invincible, 147 appearances. Great goalkeeper overall, and hopefully we can see him back in FIFA 19. Also, I forgot to mention, he made 61 appearances for Germany, considering he was battling against Oliver Kahn, I believe a young Neuer at the time, and maybe Rene Adler from here and there. I don't know, 61 appearances for them. Now, this guy, I'm sorry guys for the picture, I had to choose Dani Alves because Cafu was never in FIFA. He retired at, I believe it was 2008. I just want to double check, I forgot to look this guy up. Fuck, this is professional. Oh, wrong Cafu, shit. Cafu. Now, once again guys, I don't know a lot about wrong Cafu. Fuck's sake. Okay. PDF Cafu. Cafu. Hold on, I'm just gonna look it up on Google. Anyway, while I'm doing that, I have his 3 versions here. I have his 87. You see, I hear he's the best. He's sometimes considered the best fullback or best right back of all time. But so is Javier Zanetti. So I kind of kept his ratings similar to Zanetti's. His young card, which is his 87. Now here's the thing, Zanetti's old card is his 88. But Cafu, since he was so praised for his longevity, he was kind of like a best performer in his later years. I have his 88 card in like his 25 to 28, sorry, 25 to like 28, yeah, and then I think he retired at the age of like 36, where he was playing mainly at AC Milan. So I'm just gonna look him up again. Cafu. Sorry about this, I thought on Wikipedia. If you look in Wikipedia, it would just show the card. He was born 1970, Christ. So his used card is 87, where he played for Sao Paulo and Zaragoza. He made a total of 111 appearances, scored 6 goals with Sao Paulo, no with Zaragoza. In his middle 88 card, this is where he played with mainly Palermo and Roma. But then his prime card is for when he was at his very, very best, even though he spent... Actually, no, sorry. His 88 cards for his start at Roma and his Zaragoza, and then the prime cards for his time at Milan and the rest of Roma. He was at Roma from 1997 to 2003, where he made 165 appearances, and then he was there for 119 appearances with Milan. I think he was at his best at Roma. And how old was he at Roma? Let's see here. So 1997. So he was 27. He was 33. Then went on for another 5 years. He retired at the age of 38, guys. And he was still praised for his longevity. He was, from what I've heard, he was very skillful. And he was very good when it came to his speed and stamina, where he would run up the wing, cross the ball in, and then be immediately back in his position and barely breaking a sweat. So Cafu, you have your 87 rate card, your 88 card, and your 92 card, just like Javier Zanetti. You can technically say that this guy does have an icon card, but it's only in the World Cup mode, and that would be his prime, where it came to mainly his, you know, give me a second, for the World Cup, which is why obviously Close and Nakata is it? Nakata's there. So we have Bobby Moore here. I'm gonna have his 3 cards, which are, I believe they're 86, 89 and 92. So I left his 92 card the same as the World Cup card, which would be his prime, which is obviously he's the slowest, but sometimes you don't have to be particularly fast to be a great defender. His youth card is for his time at mainly West Ham through the first like 5-ish years. He made 544 appearances for them. Great player overall, mainly for England though. His old card would be for his time at Fulham, where he'd be a lot more experienced, he'd be a bit slower, but he'd have that experience of defending and physical with him, so which way he'd be a few ranks higher. And then his prime for his main time at West Ham, he was at West Ham from 1958 to 1974, so he'd be around that 1960s time, around 1965 to like 1972 or 74. And then of course his time at England. He also spent time at San Antonio Thunder, Seattle Sounders, Herning Fermad and Carolina Lightning, and overall he made 760 appearances, and for England, obviously captain, won the World Cup, made 108 appearances. Bobby Moore, absolute legend. It's a pity that he's gone. He died, I believe, this year. Date of death, the 24th of February 1993, only at the age of 51. It's a pity, but hopefully EA can honour him by bringing him back with these icon cards. Alright, this guy I don't really know much about. I know him basically for 2 things. That he played for Hanover. No, sorry, not Hanover, Bayern. And his penalty in the World Cup back in, what was it? What World Cup was it? Hold on. 1990. He scored a penalty. This is Andreas Brem. He had 3 cards. I gave him an 86, I believe, an 87 and a 90. His 86 would be for his time at HSV. No, I'm really sorry about these pronunciations. Barmbek Ullenhorst and also FC Saarbrücken. I'm really sorry about these pronunciations. His 87 card would be his older card, where he spent time at Zaragoza and FC. Oh Jesus Christ! Kaiserslautern, I can pronounce that. But of course, his prime years were at Bayern Munich and Inter Milan, mainly Inter Milan. Apparently, he was very good at penalties. He didn't score that much though. For 59 appearances for Bayern, he made 7 goals, and for 116 appearances for Inter Milan, he scored 11. Overall, a very good player here. Is very fast, and he'll always be remembered for that penalty against Argentina in the 1990 World Cup final. So that's why I gave him his 86 card, his 87 card, and his 90 card. Finally, someone I know a bit about. Oh shit! Oh, sorry, I got mixed up there. I put Brem ahead of one of my favorite players of all time. Probably my favorite player of all time is Fabio Cannavaro. I play defenseman. I don't play for club, but like, Bird, you are the most annoying person ever. Fabio Cannavaro, captain 2006 World Cup. Pretty much not single. Obviously, he did single-handedly him, Buffon, and a few others. Helped Italy win their fourth World Cup, I believe it was. Yeah, pretty sure it's the fourth World Cup. Absolutely great player. 5'9". People say he was not tall enough to be a defender. What does he do? Becomes one of the best defenders in history, especially in 2006 when he won the Ballon d'Or as well. His youth card for when he was here at Napoli and Parma. This Bird. Shut up. Napoli 58 appearances, Parma 212 appearances. His old card was for his second stint at Juventus and probably his end years at Real Madrid, and also he spent a little time at Al Ahly. But his prime years were his Juventus years, his first spell, and his most of his Real Madrid spell. Not to mention 2006 won the World Cup. That was the year he joined Real Madrid actually. Absolutely great player. I have him as an 86 for his youth card. I have an 89 for his old card, or is it an 87? I can't remember. No, it's 86, then 89, and then his prime being a 91. Fabio, I think you personally deserve it. Call me a fanboy. That's just my honest opinion, guys. You're all my honest opinion. Once again, if you don't agree, and also if I'm making mistakes thinking, oh, he shouldn't be that high rated here, he should be higher, please leave them in the comments down below. Right, this is the guy I accidentally pulled up the last time. Paul Scholes, someone I know a bit about. Obviously, Man United legend, and I hate to say it, probably the best midfielder in Premier League history. Would you say that? All I'm going to say is his passing ability was nearly second to none. Xavi says that he was one of the best passers ever. He'll set up on my card as well. So, absolute class player. He's had 2 years since Man United. One was from 1993 to 2011, 466, and then one season where he won the league in the first last year, 33 appearances. He has 466 appearances. 499 appearances, 1 off 500 HP, 107 goals. Passing ability, outrageous. He could ping. I seen him ping a ball from his own box to I believe it was Rooney, to the edge of the opposition's box. He was such a good player. He was a bit of a dirty cunt, but I think, is he the most red carded? I think he might be the most red carded player in Premier League history. I don't know, is Gerrard the most red carded Liverpool player, but 8? What a coincidence. Anyway, enough about that. A pity about his England career though, because since Gerrard and Lampard and a few other guys were there, he just moved on to like the left and right, which he wasn't really played very much. But I have his 3 cards here. His youth card is probably when he was at his fastest. I have him with like 75 pace. His passing wasn't as good, but he was still a great passer, higher shooting. His old card was probably where he went from, let's say, 2009 to probably 2013. He got slower. He did, like, his shoot was still great though. Passing was wonderful. The thing is about EA, they gave him an 89 rate. They gave him like an 89 rate card with only an 89 passing. Everyone went mad going like, how can you not get Paul Scholes over a 90 passing? And then like it was just crossing. But this is why I gave him his prime card a 92. A lot of people say it'll probably be too high. One of my friends might, I'm not sure, my friend might think he should be higher rated. Patch Vieira, who's only 91. But I personally think when it comes to like a midfielder, when it comes to like passing, scoring goals, this guy was crucial. He also scored some great bangers, which why I gave him a 92 rate card. I believe I gave him like 70 pace, 85 shooting, like 93 passing. So Paul Scholes, he 100% deserve it. And he, come on, bring him back into the game. It'd be so nice to have like him linking up, maybe even put him a cam since his defending isn't the greatest, and he definitely wasn't that good defending. The amount of fouls he made. Anyway, have him a cam behind Michael Owen in FIFA 19. By the way, if you're thinking about what formation I'm playing, guys, I'm playing a 4-4-2 simple formation. That's where a lot of the icons came about in FIFA 14. Anyway, this guy, Juan Sebastian Veron, he was, I don't know much about him except for maybe 3 clubs. He was a flop at Manchester United and Fergie got man saying he's a fucking great player. I know him for being a bit dirty, as in like he's going for like rough tackles. He'd be kind of like a Diego Costa in midfield, and he loved playing for one club. So his 85 red card is his old card actually, where he played for, hold on, he played, how many stints did he have at this club? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stints at this club at Estudiantes, I think it is, in Argentina. He made overall, how many appearances for them? That's 22 appearances there, 52 appearances, 112 appearances for them. That, and these would mostly be for his loan stint in 2007 and 2012 and onwards, because then he only played for like Bradson. His younger card would more likely be for his time at his first stints at Estudiantes, Boca Juniors and Sampdoria, and his prime years were mainly at, I believe they were Parma and Lazio. Man United would, I'm trying to keep Man United and Chelsea out of there because he was flops there, and try to keep it where Syria, where he was at his very best, which is why he'd be a 90 red card. Overall for Parma and Lazio, mostly Lazio I believe, he also had a loan spell at Internazionale. I'm not sure if that's, like, I sometimes think that's Internazionale. I don't think it is, no it's not, I think it's like a Brazilian club. Anyway, Parma and Lazio was probably when he was at his very, very best. He made, how many appearances for them? 79, got 12 goals, one Sebastian Veron, old card an 85, young card 88, and then prime card being 90. Now we're getting on to more well-known ones. This guy, obviously, a guy who maybe nowadays people wouldn't have used, but I kind of changed a couple of stats, not to mention I gave his prime card a bit of a boost. It is Luis Figo, Ballon d'Or winner. Did he win it twice or was it just once? I'm not sure. I think it might have been once or twice. Let me know in the comments below. Did he win it once or twice? I think it was once. Hold on, no. Let me look at his honors. Okay, it does show up right there. Right, so I have his 86 card as his old card for his time. See, look, it says here Internazionale. Is that Inter Milan? I'm pretty sure that's Inter Milan. I think that is Inter Milan. Anyway, yeah. He made 105 appearances for them. This is where he more likely lost his pace, and I do know he played into the middle, which is why I have him as cam. It's kind of like Deco. His prime card and his youth card are like in centre mid, but when he came to Chelsea, he was like all old. It wasn't terrible, but he was old. He got moved to cam. Actually, better, Robert Perez. He was on the wing for his youth card, and his prime card and his old card was at cam. This guy still played very well, 105 appearances, 9 goals. Could have done better, could have done worse. His youth card is for his sporting days from 1989 to 1995. And then obviously his prime is when he won the Ballon d'Or at Barcelona. He was out there 5 years and Real Madrid for 5 years. Obviously everyone knows about the pighead incident. Probably when he was at his very best. I have him as an 86, an 88 and a 91. So hopefully he'll be more used. I gave him a bit more of a pace boost when it came to his prime card. It's still not incredibly fast, but hopefully people will look by that and look at like more important stats like shooting, passing and dribbling. The amount of times I tried to record this, just people won't stop fucking talking. Now we have Pavel Nedved, another Ballon d'Or winner. He won along with, Figo and Cannavaro. I have his youth card. I believe, what do I have? His youth card is an 87 as a centre mid, because I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard he started off in the midfield and then he got moved on to the wing. This is where he played at Dulka Prague and Sparta Prague in Croatia. His older card is for his last few years at Juventus. He joined them in 2001, ended at 2009. This will be from about 2006 to 2009, and then his prime card is for his years at Lazio from 1996 to 2001, and then 2001 to 2005 for his Juventus years, where he won the Ballon d'Or. I believe. Hold on, was it the World Cup? No, I'm pretty sure it was the Euros. Let's hear where the Czech Republic made it to like the quarterfinals or something. Euros where they defeated the semi. Oh, they made it to the semi-finals and they lost to Greece, the champions. He won the Ballon d'Or in 2003, and he was also named the Team of the Year in 2003, 2004, and 2005. And he retired in 2009. A great player. Was playing cards in 91. Once again, kind of like Figo, a slower winger. Hopefully, people will use him a bit more for like the shooting, passing, and dribbling stats. And now we're up to the top 2, guys. We have Christian Vieri, one of the best journeymen probably in football history due to his success. I have 3 cards here. His old card is 86. His 85. His young card is his 87 and his prime is 9. It's kind of like he's a better version of Inzaghi when it comes to his old card. Like, he's slow, but he has good shooting, bad dribbling. But also, apart from Inzaghi, he actually has decent physical. His old card would more likely be for his time at Fiorentina, Atalanta. He spent only 7 games at. He had spent 2 spells at Atalanta for the last few years. Where else? Also Milan, blah blah blah. His youth years will more likely be for Torino, Pisa, Ravenna, and Venezia. And then his prime years were mainly at Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Inter Milan, where he spent the most time. Atletico Madrid, he played 24 games, he got 24 fucking goals. That's Christ, that's good. That's just, I don't know what I was doing there. Lazio, 22 games, 12 goals. It's not that bad. But then Inter Milan, 143 games, 103 goals. Enough said. 85 card for his old, got slower, had to rely more on physical. Youth card, faster, is like decent, and then 90 card being at his very best, putting in 103 and 143 for Inter Milan. That is Inter Milan, I fucking knew it. Up, guys, we have Emilio Butragueno. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, sorry for Spanish people that are watching this. One club man, except for, actually no, sorry, he's not one club man. I don't know who are these clubs? Celea. I don't know. One of Real Madrid's best ever players from what I've heard. A striker. He spent 2 years in their B team, 65 games, 37 goals. But then everyone knows that'll probably be his younger years, and maybe like his younger years at Real Madrid. His older years would be at Celea. His 86 card is his old card, where he got slower. He had to rely more on passing. His shooting got a bit lower as well. His physical probably went up a little bit because he had to rely more on kind of keeping the ball. 91 games, only 29 goals, nothing amazing. And also it'd be more like his elder years at Madrid. His younger years would probably be, he spent actually 1984 to 1995, so 11 years, so it'd be like the first maybe 2 or 3 years of his Madrid career. His younger card would be like the first 3 or 4 years at Madrid, and then in the prime between like 1987 and 1992 will probably be his best years. 341 games, 123 goals for Real Madrid. Not to mention for Spain, 69 games and 26 goals is very, very good for international duty. Anyway, guys, that's it. Obviously, I've definitely got a few of these like wrong. I know I'm not like a football pioneer. I don't know about every single. I know about the guys, and I know like mainly who they played for, but I don't know like the ins and outs of them. So let me know if I made mistakes. I honestly did. I definitely know I did. Leave them down in the comments below. Who do you think should have been there now? You could have said we're as close that he's in the World Cup mode. Nakata, well, it's Lineker I could have put in, and then a few others. Yeah, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. If you did like it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment below, share with your friends, all that great stuff. Thanks for watching. As always, see you next time.